Hi there! Well, today's video is going to be a Q&A where I follow up and answer some of the questions that you left me on my channel chat video last week. I really didn't expect there to be a lot of interest. I really didn't think that anyone would have questions for me, or if they did, it might just be one or two. So thank you so much for all of the great questions you left. There was certainly far more than I ever expected. Also, you left me some wonderful suggestions for future videos and things that you would like to see, so I really appreciate all of that great feedback. I've written those things down and I'm going to be doing my best to work on getting some of those videos out to you, so thank you again for all of that. I do have to say I've been very nervous about making this video. I think that it's just always a little bit nerve-wracking anytime you share more about yourself. You always have that worry, will people still want to watch me or still like me once they know a little bit more about me on a personal level? So I've been I think this is probably a little bit more nervous about making this video than I have some of my others, but in any case, let's just go forward and get to the questions. So the first question that I'm going to answer is probably the one that I got asked the most, and that is, how did you and David meet? Well, the short version of the story is we were set up on a blind date. We were introduced by his boss's wife. She and I worked together at the time, and she came to me and said that she knew this guy that worked for her husband, and he was just really great, very kind and sweet, and she really thought that we would be a good match for each other because her and I had been working together for a while, so she knew me and she knew him. And I really did not want to do it, neither did he. It's so funny when we come together now and talk about this because neither one of us wanted to do this, but for some reason we both agreed to it, and we went out and then we started dating, and very quickly we just became the best of friends and fell in love very quickly, and it all happened really fast. So we met and then got married 8 months later. And it was so funny because I remember thinking during that time, this is all happening so fast, but I feel so strongly about him and it just seems like the right thing to do. And even all of my family and friends and people that would normally be sort of more conservative and slow moving in their judgment, saying, oh wait, you should really think about this. Everyone would say, no, he's great, he's wonderful, you just go for it, it's not happening too fast. So it's really funny that the consensus among all of our friends and family is that we were all making the right decision, and we are just both so happy that we agreed to go on that blind date because it turned out to be the best thing to happen to me for sure. So anyway, that is how David and I met. So sometimes blind dates do work out, but normally I wouldn't have thought that either, but sometimes they do. Okay, the next question is, how do you cope with living so far away from your family? Well, it's not always easy, that's for sure. There are so many times that you'd like to just be able to get together for a casual dinner or just to hang out, or holidays that you have to spend apart and different things like that. So it's not always easy, but we do obviously talk a lot, and we try to keep each other included in just even little things that happen throughout our life. I like to call my mom or my dad, just fill them in on little things that happen here and there and things that are going on in our lives. So we just manage it the best way that we can. David and I are very firmly here in Florida because of his job and things like that. So we have to make it work, and we do. So the next question is, what are some of the stressors in your life and how do you deal with them? Well, I would say probably mostly just the same stress that everyone has. Bad things happen. We've had kind of a period of time over here over the summer where a lot of things have been breaking. The AC just went out on my car a few weeks ago, so we had to deal with that. I showed on Instagram, we had a slab leak in our garage where a pipe burst, so we had to deal with that. So I could say kind of the same things that everybody else has. You just deal with them as they come up. Know that they won't last forever. Nothing good or bad lasts forever, and so you know that while it may feel very overwhelming at the time, it will pass. So that's sort of always my philosophy on bad things happening, is that eventually it will run its course and things will improve. So the next question is, are you going to show a video of your home? And if you mean like a home tour or something like that, no, I don't think that would be something I would be comfortable with. I certainly don't mind sharing my home in bits, what I'm doing a grocery haul or showing you something here and there, but as far as a full house tour or something like that, I don't think that's something that I would ever be comfortable with, so probably not. But also my home is very modest. It's nothing special. It's nothing that, you're not missing out on anything by not seeing it. It's just a very, very average, modest home. We're not wealthy people by any means, so you're certainly not missing anything. The next question is, what was my path from Iowa to Florida? I think a lot of people ask in different ways, why am I in Florida? And then, you know, my family's in Iowa. Well, basically, I went to college in Florida, and I had family living here at the time, and I also had to work my way through college. So I was able to live with family and go to school and work. So it took me a little bit longer to finish school because I had to pay for it myself and work full time. So I was able to live with family for a while and sort of do that. And then after I graduated from college, I was working, and then of course I got married, so my life has just become in Florida. I've been here since 98, I think it was, so I've been here for quite a while, and because of my husband's job, we are not going to be moving from Florida anytime soon. When he retires, of course, we are looking at moving somewhere else, but for now we are in Florida, so that's not going to change anytime soon. The next question is, are you or were you ever a life coach by trade? Wow, that is a flattering question that you would even think that's a possibility, but no. I've never been a life coach. No, certainly not. But thank you. Thank you for asking me that. The next question was, how do you stay so thin? Well, I don't think that there's any big secrets that I have to that. I think, honestly, a lot of it's just genetic. There are some lifestyle choices that I think may contribute to that. There are some things that I just don't make a part of my diet, and maybe some of the ways that I eat and certain things like that that I think might contribute to it. But for the most part, it's just genetics, unfortunately. So the next question was, how do you fight the boredom of staying at home? Well, boredom isn't really something that I struggle with. I think that I always have plenty to do, and if I find myself in a position of being bored, there's probably something that I should be doing that I'm not doing. So I kind of think about what is it that I need to get done. The other thing is, I'm pretty introverted, so I don't really mind being by myself. I don't really find myself being bored that often or lonely. I don't really experience that a lot. Obviously, making YouTube videos takes up a large portion of my time, so if I don't have things that I need to be getting done with my home or cooking or things like that, there's almost always something that I can be doing YouTube related to research products or thinking about upcoming videos, planning and things like that. So that's one of the ways that I keep very occupied during the day. Let's see, do you have a workout routine? No, I wish that I had a different answer to that question, but I don't. I should. I need to think more about that, but no, I don't right now. The next question was, have you ever worked in psychology or the field of psychology? No, I have not. I do have a bachelor's degree in psychology, but I've not actually done any work in the field. My work experience has been primarily clerical, like administrative assistant when I was in college, and then accounting after that. I know that they're completely unrelated, but that's just sort of how it worked out. But no, I've not worked in psychology. It's something I've considered. I've had some interest in maybe going back for a master's degree and doing that, but as of right now, I don't have any experience in that field. Next question was, what does your husband do for work? My husband's in law enforcement. That's probably as specific as I want to get on that, but yes, he does work in law enforcement. What is your secret of being so positive? Well, I'm not positive all the time. But I do really enjoy making videos and talking with you all, so I think that it may seem like I'm positive all the time because I am happy, very happy when I'm doing this, but I have bad days just like everyone else. I have things that are frustrating to me, or I have negative experiences, so things come up for me, but I guess my overriding philosophy is that because nothing is permanent, I know everything's going to pass. So something may feel really bad at the time or really negative or overwhelming, but I think that just knowing that that will run its course and better things are to come always kind of just helps me maintain that focus that things aren't that bad, and especially in relation to some things that other people are going through, everything is just not that bad. I can handle it, and so I just try to keep that realistic philosophy that it won't be permanent. Okay, the next question was, what is one vice that you can't stay away from? I don't have a lot of vices. I think that everything in moderation, whether it's food or shopping or whatever it is that you enjoy, I think doing any of those things in moderation is okay, within reason, of course, but I just don't have anything that I just feel overwhelming need to do a lot of or eat a lot of or whatever. I do like coffee quite a bit, so I have a couple cups of that every morning, and then maybe sometimes a decaf or something treat later in the day, but for the most part I just try to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy, but just in a, you know, moderate way. If you could change one thing about YouTube or social media, what would it be? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm dealing with some sinus issues today. I would say that something that I see a theme of a lot on YouTube and other social media is that I think that sometimes people just can't be happy for one another. And while I do see a lot of encouraging comments and supportive comments and things like that, I've certainly been the beneficiary of a lot of really positive feedback. Sometimes, especially with some of the more successful YouTubers, I see people sort of feeling like maybe they don't deserve that in some way, or that they don't like the idea that they are being given opportunities that someone else may not be given. And I really just wish that we could be happy for each other more. I think that it's really unrealistic to think that we are all going to have the same opportunities in life. I know that there may be things that I would like to do or have, or places I would like to go, but it may not be realistic for me. But it's okay that somebody else has that, and I can be happy for them and want to wish the best for them. So I just wish that maybe people could have that attitude a little bit more often. Just because we can't all have the same advantages doesn't mean that someone else isn't deserving of it. Maybe they didn't work as hard for it in your opinion, but I still think that if we could just learn to all be a little bit more supportive and happy for one another, that might be a really good positive change to see. Okay, let's see, what else do we got here? If you could only buy one eyeshadow palette, what would it be? Wow, that's a hard one. I really, you know, the easy way out of this question would be there's some custom ones that I've made from Bobbi Brown that I really enjoy because I got to choose all the colors. I think it's always hard when you're buying a palette because there's always a few in there that you just know you're not going to use. But I think the one that I've been enjoying a lot lately is the Lorac Pro palette, the original. I took that on our trip over the summer, and it's one that I find myself using a lot. I also have a Laura Mercier artist palette for eyes that was part of the 2013 fall collection last year. I love that palette, but that was limited edition, so I hate to recommend that one, but probably those two would be my favorite two palettes that I own. The next one is, what shows do you recommend? I don't watch a ton of TV, but there are a few shows that I really like and record and like to make a point to watch. So The Big Bang Theory is one of them. I really love that show. I'm so excited that's coming back on. We enjoy Modern Family. Let's see. Oh, the other one that I really enjoy is 19 Kids and Counting. I've been watching them since the beginning, since they first had the special, and I just love that family and I love watching that show. So that's something that I'm really enjoying right now. They just come back and there's all the weddings and things like that, and I just love that show. Okay, let's see. I can't even read my own handwriting here. Oh, what do you pack for your husband's lunches? It's pretty bad when I can't read my own handwriting. Well, I can't really answer that all in this video, but I am going to be working on some more meal planning and things like that. There was a lot of requests to show more recipes and meal planning, grocery store, things like that. So I'm certainly going to work on that. This question's being asked a lot in different things. So I'm going to have to give you some more information about what my process is for meal planning. I think ours is a little bit different because of my husband's work and things like that. So I'm going to have to kind of explain to you, there's a little bit more that goes into it than what normally might be. So what is your favorite makeup brand? I cannot pick one. I just have such a variety. I don't think that there is anything that I have that is I don't have a predominant brand in my collection. I think it's pretty equally divided amongst a lot of brands. I think if you asked me what is your favorite, well, like I just shared my Chanel lip gloss collection. If you said what's your favorite brand for a specific item like glosses, I would absolutely say Chanel, or a certain blush or things like that. But as for one brand, I just don't have one. How and why did I start a YouTube channel? Well, how, I mean, I just started it, I guess like everyone does, just by putting my first what's in my bag video out there, which seems like a really easy and common way that people start them. But as for the why, it's just because I love makeup and products in general, and I didn't have girlfriends in my life that really enjoyed that or enjoyed talking about it. So I would spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos and looking at makeup blogs and things like that. And I felt like I was buying these things anyway, but I just didn't have any way of sharing what I liked and giving that feedback to other people. So I really just wanted to have a place where I could talk about some of the things that I enjoy and bring reviews and things like that. I just thought it would be a lot of fun, and I still really enjoy it. It's just for fun. I just enjoy doing it. I love talking about beauty products and things like that, and so that's pretty much it. It was just an outlet for me and a creative outlet for me to be able to talk about things that I've always been buying, but now I just have a place to share them with people that enjoy it also. So what did I do when I worked? I worked in accounting. So I worked in accounting for my last place I worked. I was there for about 7 years, and I dealt with revenues. So I was handling all of the cash and things like that, doing deposits and just an accounting ledger and keeping up with all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoy it. I love working with, you know, even our personal finances. Is actually more of a hobby of mine. I love doing budgeting and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. I just love it. So when I would be putting together deposits and revenues and things like that, these were really large deposits with lots of different little things I needed to add to the general ledger, and I just enjoy that. I love that it was like putting together a puzzle, and sometimes things didn't balance, and I love trying to figure that out. And so that's what I worked in before, and I really enjoyed it. And let's see, what country would you like to visit? I am not someone that loves to travel. I am very much a homebody, so I don't have a long list of places that I've always wanted to visit, but I would really like to go to the UK. I've always wanted to visit London, and my husband's already been there. I think he did a trip growing up as a kid, but he'd really like to go back there too, so that is some place that we think about often. But one place in the US that we both really want to go, that might be some place that would happen sooner rather than later, would be Washington, D.C. I don't mean we don't have something specific planned, but if we had a choice of where to go next or what we would like to plan, it would be D.C. We'd really like to see all the Smithsonian museums and just do the touristy thing. Did you always like makeup? Yes, I did always like makeup. It's just something I've really enjoyed ever since I was, you know, younger. I started off, of course, I couldn't wear a lot at the time, but it's just something that I love. I love talking about it. I love the different colors. I love the collections. I love the formulas. I love everything about it. So yes, it is something I have always really enjoyed. The last question was, do you have children? And no, we don't. We have our 3 kitty cats, our 3 girls, but we don't have children. So hopefully that answered the majority of your questions. I think I got to everything. If you have more questions for me, you can always leave them down below. It doesn't have to be on this video, and maybe I'll do another Q&A, you know, somewhere down the road if there's enough interest in that or not. But hopefully, at least for now, I've tried to answer your questions as best I could. Again, thank you so much for leaving me all the wonderful comments and suggestions for upcoming videos. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.